Hi, this is Stacy Sanchez from Heart Prince of God. I never will forget the conversation I had with my college roommate several years ago. Within a few months apart, my friend lost her mom and she lost her dad. And as I had called to check up on her several months past these great losses in her life, the words she said to me that I think she thought were going to catch me by surprise didn't surprise me at all. She said, Stace, the one thing that I would never have expected during this time of loss, but the one thing that seems to be true in it, is that the people I thought would be there for me weren't, and the people that I had no idea would be there for me were. And when she said that to me, it didn't surprise me because I had walked through my own season of loss, having lost my husband and lost my job several years before that. And I found that very same thing to be true. The people that I thought would be there for me weren't, for whatever reason, but also the people that I never could have imagined would be were. And so today, I just want to talk with you about some lessons that we can learn in a season of loss. I think with the season we're in right now, a lot of us have lost a lot of things. Some of us may have lost loved ones, some of us may have lost jobs, some of us may just be mourning the way things used to be. There is a lot of loss going on, and that's just typical of life, whether we're in a season of, pandemic or not. Loss is just a part of life. But 3 lessons that I learned during my loss time that I want to share with you today. The first one is this. Number 1, God will always, always, always be there. When it seems like the whole rest of the world has turned around and walked out on us, God walks in. He's always there, but the Bible promises that He is near to the brokenhearted. He is close to those who are going through, a time of heartbreak, and it is so true. God became so precious to me during my season of loss. It was a hard season, but it was precious at the same time because of the presence of God, the pressing in and His undeniable closeness to me during that time. So, number 1, God will be there. I promise it, I guarantee. And if you're in a season of loss right now, look for Him. You will find Him. He is there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The second thing I learned was, the people that I thought might be there weren't, and that was okay. We all handle grief and loss in a different way, and I get that. Some people just aren't comfortable for whatever reason, or maybe it's just not who God would choose to have to be there for us, and they're not. And it's okay. I think we just need to be gracious with those people. We don't need to get bitter or hold it against them. We just need to realize that for whatever reason they aren't there, and it is okay. It doesn't need to come between us and our relationship with them. It doesn't mean they don't love us or don't care for us. It doesn't make us need to be bitter towards them. We just need to give grace to them, and for whatever reason they aren't there, and it's okay. It is okay. And the reason it's okay is because what God taught me in lesson number 3. And lesson number 3, I think, was one of the hardest ones for me to accept, and that was simply that I hadn't been there for so many people either. You see, before I lost my husband, I didn't do grief. I didn't talk grief. You wouldn't find me at a funeral. And honestly, you don't find me at too many funerals on this side of having lost him either. But I just wasn't comfortable with grief. I didn't know how to talk to somebody about loss. I didn't know what to do when somebody was hurting. And so I was one of those people, hard to admit it, but it's true, who turned tail and ran when somebody was walking through a hard time. And so I think when I stopped and I realized that I wasn't there for people either, it makes it easier for me to be gracious and kind, and to let people off the hook that haven't been there for me. God knows who we need. And honestly, the people that God sent in place of the ones who weren't there were a perfect fit. They were just the right ones who I needed during the most difficult time of my life. God knows us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows what we need. So, and especially in a time of loss, God is so tender and kind to bring the right people. And so today, if you are going through a loss, number 1, remember God is there. He is always there. Number 2, if the people you thought should be there aren't, It's okay. It really is okay. Give them grace. Don't let it come between you and them. Don't let it ruin your relationship. Just give them grace. For whatever reason they're not there, it's okay. It is okay. And it's okay because if we all stop and think about it, number 3, we probably haven't been there for other people when we probably should have either. And so we just need to be gracious and kind, and just, not let it get us bitter, because when you're in a time of loss, the last thing you need to do is sever relationships. The last thing you need to do is push people away. The last thing you need to do is allow Satan to bring more hurt into your heart by causing bitterness. So I hope those 3 steps, or those 3 lessons that I learned, can help somebody today. God is there. Be gracious and kind and thankful for those who are there. Be gracious and kind and appreciative even for those who aren't. And just use it as a lesson maybe to make us mindful in the future of who we need to be there for, who God would call us to step up and step beside during a season of loss. All right, keep looking for those heart prints and have a beautiful, blessed day.